Hey, beautiful souls, beautiful sunshine here with the R Holistic Healer, aka Sonia B. So I am back with a couple of quick prophetic messages. So, for those of you who are new to my channel, I want to say welcome, and for those of you who are returning back, I want to say welcome back. Okay. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the messages. Okay, so on October 30th, I received a message, okay? And this was a school setting, okay? I don't necessarily want to, it could be from elementary school, possibly even to college, okay? But I want to say probably from elementary to high school. But the way I saw this in the dream was there was a African American student, and basically there was a Caucasian teacher, and this was a lady, okay? I got the feeling of this teacher was okay. So basically, what happened in the dream was there was a student needing some sort of assistance, and basically the student saw this teacher helping someone else. So when the helping another child, okay, that was also Caucasian. But then when the African American student walked up to the teacher and asked them for some sort of help, this is not in the classroom, this was like just within the hallways of the school or something. Maybe the student could have been new, I'm not quite sure, but they was asking the teacher I didn't even get that this was a teacher. Somehow this person they could have been part of administrative staff, I'm not quite sure, but I kind of got the feeling that they were supposed to be somebody who's supposed to be in authority at a school in a sense, but not necessarily teaching in a classroom. So the student basically walked up to the teacher and was basically asking them for some help. And I got that this was like the cafeteria area, but don't allow it to just be the cafeteria area. It could be anywhere throughout the possible school system. For some people, maybe the cafeteria. For others, could be another location within the school system. But basically, when the African American teacher walked up to the Caucasian teacher and basically was kind of asking, because they saw that teacher was just finishing up with assisting someone else. And when they came to them, the teacher was being like a little nasty. She was kind of almost like being sarcastic with the student, okay? And the child didn't care for that, or the teenager didn't care for that too much. So basically, the student saw that the teacher was coming from a place of being racist, because again, that student just got finished seeing that other teacher helping someone else of their same race. But then when they came to them, their attitude kind of switched up. So this child automatically knew that there was some sort of racism going on. So basically, the child started getting a little upset, and as the child got a little upset, so basically, I'm sorry, I'm trying to read my notes here. So basically, the child had got upset, and the teacher had said something smart, but basically the child had basically said, "Don't play with me, because I'll knock your ass through that damn window." Because she was making it very known that she didn't care for certain races of people, okay? And the child sensed that and knew that, okay? And one thing I want to say, guys, like, we're in a day and a time that God is really revealing people's true intentions to other people. So therefore, if there's no more falling asleep, there's no more of trying to push racism underneath the rug, there's no more of trying to be a little easy going on people who are really blatantly being and can see right in front of you, just seeing the racism right in front of you. People are learning it's almost like the divine spirit of light is forcing people to speak up and stand up for themselves, because, thank you, Spirit, because I just heard, like, if you don't stand up for something, you'll fall for anything, okay? And I know I used to say that a long time ago to certain people, should I say, who was just kind of like just coasting throughout life and not necessarily wanting to stir the waters. And it's not that you're going around looking for a fight or you're looking to stir up stuff, but it's a matter of just standing up for yourself, okay? Because if you allow people to talk to you, treat you, and deal with you any type of way, people will think that they have that upper hand over you, okay? So anyway, the next message that I received, this came in a form of, some of you guys, if you're adult parents who may have kids somewhere around their 30s or something like that, or maybe somewhere between 26 and possible 30s, and could be even between 35, is just what I just heard as well too. So some of you guys, if you have not necessarily been around those children in a minute from like the last 4 to 5 years in a sense, because some things had kind of transparent in your life, and you just kind of, push yourself or even distance yourself from people. And even if it's a situation of maybe like the individuals may have been dating someone that you didn't necessarily care for, or whether it was an instance of, maybe their possible person that they may have been dating, was just rude and disrespectful, and, you wasn't allowing yourself to be around that or partake in that, or not only that, to be disrespected. So you created boundaries even with some of your adult children, okay? So with that being said, the way I saw this was there's about to be a stirring up of some stuff into these adult children's lives, in a sense. Like, I just thank you, Spirit. I just heard like they're about to be woken up to the truth. So whereas before they may have been sleeping and they may have been accepting the things that the person that they were dealing with was kind of dishing out, and they didn't see anything that they was doing was necessarily wrong, so therefore, as an example, if they was treating, let's just say, your mom or people within your family with disrespect, and yet they continued to stay with that individual knowing that they were being rude and nasty towards your family members, you're about to start seeing the truth. And if this is you that I'm referring to for as that age group, but if you are the parent of that child, you're gonna start noticing that that child is gonna start kind of coming back around, in a sense, because it's almost like they're being woken up to the truth of seeing who the real enemy is. Okay, so with that being said, sometimes I thank you, Spirit. I just heard that sometimes people can't see the truth because people try to create these illusions around people so that they can stay asleep, so that way that they continue to either use, abuse, control, manipulate in some sort of way, in order to take advantage of people, to get people to kind of do what they want them to do, in a sense, okay? And remember, absolutely no one does not have any power, nor any authority, nor any control over any one of us unless we give that to them, okay? So if we believe let's just say, bullshit that they are spitting out, if we are believing I'm going to say it, the fuckery that they are presenting to you, because people, thank you, Spirit, I just heard semantics. People are good with words. So when people are good with words, they come from a place of word trickery and trying to create illusions around people. So that you also have to be careful of too, as well too. Okay. Anyway, so let's move on to the next message. And I actually kind of saw this happening like twice or whatever. Like the individual is kind of like coming back, because the way I see it is God is allowing these people to come around, so they not only are they coming around, but they're coming around for a divine purpose. Like God has these purpose to be within your vicinity, in a sense, for those of you who are vibrating and operating at a higher frequency, because basically what's going to happen is with them being within your frequency, it's almost like they're being woken up to the truth of remembering who they were. Okay. So again, within the last 4 or 5 years, if this is somebody who kind of fell asleep and just kind of allowed people to create illusions around them, believing everything that they said, especially if this comes in the form of, because one thing you have to realize is we have people out here who are charmers, okay? They know how to charm. They know how to, I don't know what it's called, but they can even charm you through their eyes. So just by looking into their eyes, in a sense, and I'm not saying this to say that you giving them power over you, but it's just an energy that someone possesses, in a sense. And it's almost like, just like you have people out here who are, oh God, what's the word? Again, charmers. So, then you have people out here who have people that kind of flock to their energy, in a sense. It doesn't necessarily mean that people are flocking to them because they necessarily like them. It's just that they kind of resonate at their frequency. So therefore, if anything unhealthy could be even flocking to them. I forgot. Oh God, what is the word that you call it? I forgot. Anyway, but this is basically when people have like a lot of people that kind of just constantly keep flocking to them and flocking to them as if they're celebrity-like, in a sense, and they're not really a celebrity. But oh my God, I really forgot the word. Forgive me, y'all, but you know what I'm trying to say. Somebody that possessed that type of energy where people kind of always kind of flock towards them. Anyway, again, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's positive energy, okay? Because they can be drawing in negative energy as well, too. So this next message that I receive, and yeah, so this person, like I said, I saw it twice in a dream that the adult child is going to kind of come back and they're going to find themselves kind of around, hanging out around you. Again, it's almost like you're helping them to raise their frequency, okay? And then this next message that I received actually this morning was, some of you guys are going to find yourself in a situation. I really got it. Like some people are like really sitting and waiting right now. Oh God, I almost forgot this other video. Excuse me, other message. Some people are sitting and waiting right now. I got this message, like some people are sitting in like a waiting area, just waiting to the next assignment. You got people sitting on this side of the room, and you have people sitting over on the right side of the room. So the way I saw this was, some of you guys are gonna have a situation to where you're it's almost like your ex that you may have dealt with in the past. Somebody's gonna come back. Two ways this could be happening, spiritually or either physically. It's almost like somebody is being woken up to the truth, to almost kind of like, what's the word? It's almost like, thank you, Spirit. It's almost like they're being drawn to your energy in a sense. Like they're noticing you. They're noticing you. They're noticing what you have. Not just what you have, but they're noticing things. Not saying that they didn't ever notice you, but I'm talking about they notice you because they just notice the good qualities about you, okay? So the way I saw this was, it came in a form as if there was an ex sitting on the other side of the room. And it was like, just as I had looked up and made eye contact in a sense, okay? It's almost like we made eye contact with each other. So I say all that to say, some of you guys are going to be... some of you guys are going to have possibly like your ex coming back into your life in a sense. And how this is going to transpire, I'm not quite sure, but I did see that they are kind of noticing you in a sense, and noticing the qualities about you, because I just heard that they always notice the qualities about you, okay? And that's something that they are looking for, and I just heard that that's something that they're looking for, okay? So you guys can take it how it resonates. You guys, it could come in a form of, again, somebody that you dated years ago, somebody that you just dated not too long ago. It's going to be different for everybody, okay? Anyway, so this other message is important too. So the way I saw this one was like someone was laying in the bed, okay? And the way that came in a form of like, it was kind of almost like laying in the bed, and it was like this white lady that was laying next to me, okay? So when I have those type of dreams, to me, it's almost like they represent like some sort of entity, you know, some institution of some sort, some kind, okay? So the way I saw this was, it's like, as I was in the bed sleeping, this person was really trying to get close to me. They was like up underneath me, like really so close to me, to the point that I literally got up and got out of my bed because they were so close to me, because it made me uncomfortable, okay? So the way I saw this was a representation of some of you guys are in bed with these different institutions, okay? And I say all that to say that some situations that some guys, take it how it resonates. It could be a situation of a job, maybe a bank, or, you know, maybe a school or something, okay? So the various things that represents different institutions of different kinds, you know, they can come in different forms. But I say all that to say, some of you guys are in bed with a specific institution, to the point that it's gonna seem like they're weighing on you so much. And I didn't get that this was a negative energy. I really got that they were overbearing in a sense, to the point that it got on your nerves, to the point that I just kind of got up out of the bed. So I say all that to say, and I don't know what way, shape, or form that it's going to come. Like I said, whether it's through a job, school, you know, whatever it is, could be in your individual life. But I saw that some people were becoming uncomfortable and just kind of got up out of that bed in a sense. So I say all that to say, and let me give you a quick example, because it's just what came to mind. Thank you, Spirit. What just came to mind was, like, let's just say, for instance, like, God had asked some people to release themselves from certain banking institutions, okay? And he was asking them to do that for a reason. And sometimes we don't always know what's going on behind the scenes, because sometimes they're like hidden things that are taking place and transpiring behind the scenes. You know, just as I said, that there's this physical world, there's a spiritual world coexisting alongside of it. So as a spiritual world is existing, we can't necessarily see the things that's being done behind closed doors. But remember that God can see all and he knows all. Okay. So when he sends those messages of kind of, telling people to, hey, let go of this institution or walk away from it, it's for a reason, because usually these people are not upholding their values. They don't have any morals, no respect for the people, or no integrity, or therefore, they're robbing, stealing in some sort of way. Okay. And we all know that they have been, and this is just an example, we all know that there have been some, a couple of years back, some issues going on with these different banking systems, how they was, being fraudulent and, doing things that they shouldn't be doing. Well, this is the reason why God had asked people to walk away from those specific things. And I just saw 15:15. Okay. So with that being said, and because again, it goes back to when you understand your level of respect for yourself, you're not just going to invest in any and everything. Okay. You're not just going to go to some, let's just say some random place, and you're not going to settle for less. Okay. So when God reveals stuff to you, he's like, no, respect yourself enough to walk away. Okay. So that's just like an example. So there had been a message, as I said before, that God had was, as an example, this was actually true, but I'm just giving you as an example where God was asking people to walk away from the various different institutions. Okay. So you take it how it resonates for your specific situation. And the other message that I saw too, this one is something to be mindful of, because it came in a form as if I was talking to like my divine counterpart in a dream, right? And it was as if like we were sleeping, but somehow we woke up. So I was tending to our teenager's son in a dream, right? I was tending to our teenager son in a dream. And basically what happened was, it was like, he was just basically telling me in a dream, he was like, hey, well, I did this, I did that. Well, you can at least do this in a sense. So it was almost like trying to work together in a sense. But on the other hand, it was like an issue where, let's just say the child was about to go out and play basketball, and let's just say like maybe 2 or 3 in the morning. And the level of concern as a parent, it's like, wait, it's dark outside. Like, you don't want to go outside like that late to just, partake in the activities that you like to do. And I'm talking about, sports, whatever the sports may be for, each and individual person, whether it be soccer, tennis, volleyball, whatever the case may be, but basically the child was wanting to, was kind of a little hyped up in the sense that they wanted to go and practice in a sense. And I was like, well, you sure that's what you want to do? Well, the divine counterpart was sitting there, and rather than saying something, I heard, and this is the message. So don't really focus so much on the going out in the middle of the night. This is the message. Okay. So that I could understood what the message was being given. The message was, is like, he was up speaking to me, and then when it came down to the child, it's almost like I heard like this entity of some kind. Not exactly sure. I don't know if this is a past life energy or I'm going to say entity. Okay. Some entity of some kind from maybe the past that has possibly, I just heard this, has possibly could have been in their family, is what I'm hearing, from one generation to the next generation, trying to keep your eyes closed when it comes down to dealing with your children. Because maybe I just heard that your dad may have possibly not been there for you. And then it could have been the same thing again, even with like the great granddad doing the same exact thing. Like literally their eyes are being closed to, their eyes are literally being closed to the truth of the matter of like when it comes down to stepping up and being a parent. Okay. Because all I really heard was the spirit saying, go back to sleep. And then the moment I heard that, and I'm not going to say spirit, the moment I heard that entity say that, but it was done in a settled type way, the person just laid back down and went back to sleep. So to me, that was letting me know that some people are dealing with situations that they're actually being possessed, and it's not going to come in a form necessarily that how you think it may be, like the exorcism, although there are situations out there that are like that, but I didn't get that in a form. It was just a matter of an energy that's constantly keep trying to sabotage, is what I'm hearing. Sabotage the situation for intervening when it comes down to dealing with your children in a sense, especially if you have been estranged from them. Okay. If I'm saying that right, estranged, if you have been estranged from them. So again, some of you guys may, if this is applying to you, you may want to really evaluate your choices and why you're making those decisions. Because remember, I did another prophetic message some time ago when I said that, as some people was trying to pray or manifest things that they wanted in their life, people were projecting at them as they was trying to say a prayer. So let's just say if you say a prayer and you was like, and you saying it like this, like, Lord, please watch down over those, my close loved ones and those who are close to me. And then you leave it open and you say close to me, but you're not saying who. You're not meaning, like, instead of saying, Lord, please watch down over Aunt Susie, Uncle Tommy, and, Butterbean, and, Hip Hop and Frop Frop, and all of them, instead of being specific with the names, that prayer is just kind of out there, meaning that prayer is kind of going to whoever, because it doesn't have a specific name attached to it. So I say all that to say, that's just an example. So I say all that to say, basically, like I said before, you have to just be mindful and ask yourself, why are you making the choices and the decisions that you are making? Because the way I saw it was, there's an entity that's behind you making those specific choices that's around you. And this could, and I'm even hearing that this energy could be coming from someone else as well too. So be mindful of that too, because sometimes, whether we like it or not, people can sometimes have demons and stuff that are, and I don't mean to scare anybody, I don't mean like that, but, of course you have people out here that try to keep you off your path. And of course, we all get tested, just like how Job has gotten tested. So therefore, if there's certain, entities that could come along and try to test you and try to keep you off your path, just like these people out here, can do as well too. And I just saw 1212 as I said that. So I say all that to say, you just have to be mindful and ask yourself, why are you making the choices and why are you making the decisions that you are making when you know that, and I just saw 2121, when you know that the decisions that you are making can either harm a situation or, be hurtful in a situation. I'm hearing, especially if you yourself had to deal with these different things in life as well too. So it's a matter of not repeating those cycles, but breaking those cycles. Okay. And just because you're making certain decision that you're making it, I just heard logically, when you really should be in your heart space. What does your heart tell you? Because right now we should be, for some people, we've been asked to move off what your heart is leading you and guiding you to do rather than your mind, because your mind will trick you out of doing something. Your mind will trick you out of doing something that that you may not know. Your mind will trick you out of certain things just because, the logic is there. The logic is there. Therefore, if we override our hearts, and then therefore, and again, this message is not for everyone. So I say all that to say that there's some people who are meant to think a little logically. And then there's some people who are meant to get out of the logic and get more and drop into their heart space, because their heart is going to lead them and guide them to where it is that they need to go. It's being in tune with your feelings. It's being in tune with your emotions. Okay. Rather than allowing the logic side of you to lead you and drive you. Of course, yes, we do need logic in certain situations, okay? But you're just going to have to use your spirit of discernment. That's where the balance comes in at, and you have to know that. So with that being said, let me go ahead and end this. But before I end, I do want to say I was going to pull out my cards this morning. But before I did, I actually received a message. I was like, okay, Lord, okay, I'm going to use this message. So the scripture that was given to me this morning was Ephesians 1:18. It says, I pray that the eyes of your heart may be enlightened, which is funny because I just said drop into your heart space, okay? That your hearts may be enlightened, or in order that you may know the hope to which he has called you. So God is asking so many people to drop down into their heart space, and he's asking you to do this for a reason, because believe it or not, when people are doing what they really want to do in life, they're doing it because it comes from the heart, okay? Not just doing it because you have to do it, or just doing it because, it gives you this gratification, a temporary gratification. But in the end, which is so funny because yesterday my son was telling me that, there was two things. I can't remember the two things, but in so many words, I'm going to say it like this. He was telling me that in so many words, this individual, I'm not sure if it was somebody he was just listening to or somebody from school, but an individual was talking about they basically wanted to deny themselves of joy, of what it means to experience joy. Joy is about being happy, okay? Joy is about being peace, being, bliss, and, not just being in a happy place. So I rather experience joy rather to experience frustration and, everyday life out here. I'd rather experience joy, and I know it's different for everyone. And I know that I just heard like somebody say, well, joy don't pay the bills. I get that. I understand that. But again, that's where the balance comes in at, okay? Because the truth of the matter is, I just heard that when you're doing what you love, and all those other things are going to come to you, okay? And when you're doing that, you're doing it, and I just saw 444. And as you're doing it, 4 represents abundance. And as you're doing what you love, the other things are going to come to you. It may not come right away, but it's going to come to you, okay? And then not only that, but at least you can say you're happy what it is that you're doing in life rather than just settling for a monotony job that's just like, same old pattern, same old shit, nothing new, same old stuff. Okay, if that makes sense. Anyway, but let me finish this. And it says, I pray that the eyes of your heart may be enlightened in order that you may know the hopes that to which he has called you, the riches of his glory inherent in his holy people. Okay, so God has placed something holy within us all, and if you drop down into that heart space, remember, God had mentioned in the word that he was going to write the laws on our hearts. Okay, so I say all that to say that he's placed something within us. So again, we got to get out of here and get more so in here. But again, it's that balance, okay? You can't allow one to outweigh the other. It's balance, okay? So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end that there, but I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Until the next message, I wish you all nothing but peace and love, and I say bye. Bye.